The Volkswagen Tiguan is a very popular family crossover, but how does it do when the road isn't much of a road anymore? We put its 4Motion all-wheel drive system to the test in this episode of Driving Sports TV. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please take this moment to hit the subscribe button and then ring that bell. Now, on with the test. For this review, we have a 2019 Volkswagen Tiguan SEL Premium with 4Motion all-wheel drive. This is a top-line trim that comes standard with Volkswagen's digital cockpit, leather, adaptive cruise control, an 8-inch navigation touchscreen, blind spot monitoring, and pedestrian detection. It also has LED headlights and Fender premium audio with a surround view camera. Prices you see it here, $38,190 US, including destination. Under the hood of every Tiguan sold in the United States is the same 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Yes, even in the $24,295 base trim. Like in all models, it puts out 184 horsepower through the standard 8-speed automatic transmission. This is connected to a 5th-generation Haldex all-wheel drive system. This setup is rated at 29 miles to the gallon highway and 21 in the city. As you can see here, the all-wheel drive system is laid out like many other vehicles. The motor powers a drive shaft connected to a multi-plate clutch, which under normal circumstances isn't engaged. That means it's normally a front-wheel drive setup. Unlike older Haldex systems, however, this one uses an electric motor to engage the system. That means it can engage power without having to wait for the system to build pressure. When the ECU detects power is needed in the rear, the system compresses the wet clutch pack, which binds the rear wheels to the central drive shaft, giving them power. The effect is almost instantaneous, and sometimes the Generation 5 system can even engage before it's needed. Because the Tiguan uses open differentials all around, it adds single-wheel braking to send power back to the opposite side in instances where a wheel completely loses grip. This is known as a functional E-differential. Basically, it's software doing the job of dedicated gearing. Later in this video, we'll see just how well all of this comes together. Now, let's finish the walk around. Our test car was furnished with a mud mat in the back. With the second row up, you're looking at 37.6 cubic feet of cargo area. Fold them down for a cavernous 73.5 cubic feet. That's more than the Honda CR-V, but less than the Honda Pilot. Underlining the fact that the Tiguan is an in-betweener, not quite mid-size, not quite compact. For families that need it, the Tiguan also is available with seating for 7. Since this is a 5-seater, instead of an extra set of seats, it has a spare tire under the floor. The Tiguan only tows 1,500 pounds, so this hitch receiver is best used for small accessories like a bike rack. The second row fits my 6'1" frame just fine. Amenities include a fold-down armrest, USB, and 12-volt socket. A large panorama sunroof keeps even the second row nicely lit. Up front is what you expect from Volkswagen, lots of black, gray, and piano gloss trim pieces. The design is modern and useful, though a bit on the boring side. Still, I like the cubbies, and everything is where it should be. The seats are comfortable with 10-way power adjustments. The steering wheel is easily positioned, and the large electronic gauge cluster is simply gorgeous. The dual-zone climate control can be adjusted by large dials, or you can use the large 8-inch touchscreen. The same screen gives you full control of the audio system, which includes support for XM satellite radio. The Fender audio is quite good, with EQ adjustments available to tune it to taste. Plug in via USB for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay compatibility. The built-in navigation provides quick search and is very easy to use. Active safety is well thought out with a nice surround view camera system, lane assist, blind spot monitor, rear traffic alerts, and front auto braking with pedestrian detection. A multi-mode drive system lets the driver take control of how the Tiguan responds in various conditions. These include Eco, Normal, Sport, and Off-road modes. As you can see on the screen, it modifies quite a lot of the available parameters. To get a taste of just how well this all-wheel drive system responds to slip, we're going to start with the most basic test, a gravel launch. This is the Tiguan in off-road mode, but no other adjustments. Now let's do the same thing with off-road mode, plus we'll add sport transmission and we will disable traction control. We can see that traction control is actually slightly faster on the slippery surface, which is how it should be. As we head out to the mountains, let's try out some of the more everyday on-road functions before we get into the rough stuff. We'll start with a 0 to 60 test.
3, 2, 1, go. All my luggage in the back there, throwing to the back. 40, 50, and 60. You know, honestly, that was a little bit better than I was expecting because 184 horsepower just isn't a lot. But that was really smooth, very quiet on the interior, and got me up to speed just fine for freeways. So I wouldn't say that it's exciting, but it's definitely within the capable range. Driving the Tiguan on the freeway is actually really nice. It has good handling, the steering wheel feels great, and of course it has adaptive cruise control. However, it doesn't have lane centering. In terms of adaptive cruise control, it's very easy. I just set my distance, set my speed, and it paces the vehicle in front of me. I don't have to do anything basically at that point except steer. And I get lots of steps of distance control here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is more than most other vehicles. Not like you really need that much granularity though, when it really comes down to it. Flick around the corner. It's not too bad. When I do put it into that off-road mode, I can definitely feel a lot more torque going to the back over like eco and standard modes. So that's a win. Yeah, the suspension's a little stiff for this. Little stiff. Nice on the smooth spots though. There's one thing I have to hand it to Volkswagen is they really do excellent street suspension. Not so great off-road suspension, but really good street suspension. Okay, so we're gonna have a few issues with this vehicle on the rock trail today. And that's gonna be the front and back overhangs. They're a little on the long side. And we're not looking at a lot of extra ride height. This is 7.9 inches. So you're not even looking at 8 inches on this thing. So we're gonna be really careful about scraping the underside as well as denting approach and departure. However, I'm not too concerned about horsepower. Seem to see things do pretty good here if they have at least 180. This has 184. And it is using the latest Haldex all-wheel drive system. That uses a clutch pack in the middle to distribute power front to back, and then it uses brakes to distribute power side to side. Now, the issue here is that I've read online that this will put up to 100% of power to the back. However, I don't know for how long. I don't know if it's going to be useful. There's a lot of unknowns about how it does that. Does it disconnect the fronts? I don't know. So we'll see how well this does. I think it'll probably do pretty good because it has enough power to get over the really steep stuff. And it does do the E differential function to help kind of shift power left and right. And I think that'll be useful. Now the tires on this are Scorpions. These are the same tires that a lot of the European manufacturers put onto the crossovers. And they're okay as far as mud and snow tires go. You know, from the factory. Definitely not what I would call a bona fide off-road tire, but they're definitely serviceable. Let's go ahead and tackle the rock trail. I have to say, for an 8-speed transmission, this low gear is providing a pretty decent crawl ratio. Maybe it'll sneak along here at about 2 miles per hour. Okay. Till I run into something. Let's see here. 2, yeah, just hovering around 2, 3 miles per hour. That's pretty good. About to approach the first challenge here. I should be losing grip on that back left wheel. We'll see what this does here. Now I'm approaching very slowly. If I rammed it, yes, I would get right over the top of it. But this isn't just about ramming things. This is about testing capability and seeing what this system does. Now, fortunately, I don't have a gauge here to show me what my wheels are doing at all. I don't have anything showing all-wheel drive distribution. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, now I do have the vehicle in off-road mode, so that should give me some power distribution left to right. You know, that did a really good job.
Let's watch that again so we can see what the E-differential is doing. Here, the rear driver's side wheel spins free. The brakes lock on to the spinning wheel, which redirects power back to the opposite wheel, the one with grip. The same thing then happens with the front passenger side wheel. It spins, the brakes grab, power is then redirected back into the system, moving the vehicle forward.
On to challenge number 2. Let's see how this does. Now, I could go right into the rut, or I could go around the rut. Or I could just get stuck here. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and dip my wheel into the rut and see if we scrape on the front. No scraping. Ugh, turn off those radars. Sonars, whatever. Wow, it's doing a really good job. All I'm doing is I have it in off-road mode, and I'm just laying in the throttle, and it's shifting power around, and it's doing what it needs. You know, historically, I haven't been that impressed with the Haldex systems in the Volkswagens, but it's been a couple years since I've actually put one to the test. I have to say, this is really impressive. Now the final stage. I want to put my front right wheel into the deepest part of this trail, which should lift up my back left wheel. That's where we can kind of see the articulation in action, or lack thereof. Let's see. A little teeter-totter here. Let's see what we got in the back. It's a little off the ground, not much. Let's see, how deep am I up here? Huh, yeah. Let's continue to the top. Come on, you can do this. Throttle, throttle, yeah! Nice. You know, that actually did remarkably well, much better than I was expecting. I didn't have to take any alternate routes. It was able to go up the most difficult line. And that's really kind of surprising for something that's really built for the street. Should we do the bonus round? I think we'll do a bonus round. Okay, I've checked the trail and it looks pretty good. It is going to be challenging, however, because there are very deep ruts and they're offset in just a way that it's really going to lift the one or the left or the right rear wheels, which is going to make traction kind of difficult and really test that power shift. Granted, we knew down there it could power shift between one wheel, but can it power shift between all four wheels? This is what we'll find out. Now we're in off-road mode, standard transmission mode. I'm just going to crawl along. I have to watch for, you know, large rocks to poke into my oil pan because this doesn't have any underbody protection. Because why would it? It's a street SUV. It's not really designed for this stuff. Still, it's fun to test it, isn't it? Oh, those parking things. Got to turn those off. Okay. First leg. Oh, I feel nothing going on up here. Power, power, power. Ooh, yeah, good job shifting that power. Okay, now I have both these wheels. Neither of them have traction. It's gonna shift power to the other wheels. Come on, you got this? Yeah! Come on, you got this. Wow. Come on, you're gonna do this? What? It's making it look easy. If this thing had shorter overhangs, I'd take it onto the cross-cut climb, but those overhangs would get ripped off, so no bueno. Seriously, turn those things off. Those are annoying. Okay. Like no traction on those two wheels. You got this, you got this. Oh yeah. Come on. Oh! Dang! This new Haldex system is so much better than the old ones. I can't complain about it anymore. That was actually really impressive. Okay, now we have to go back down. As I mentioned, this is just a dead end. Okay. Let's go ahead and try this, and we'll see how it does going down. Oh, those parking things, they keep turning back on. Okay, so to ease my downward, I'm going to, it shows that hill descent control is there, but I don't see a button for it. Maybe I should have read up how this one works. Do I just let it do its thing? Nope, that's not a good idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and, how does hill descent control work here? Off-road, info. Normal, 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 hill descent control on. Okay, well let me just take my foot off. Oh, it just does it automatically. It's keeping me at 2 miles per hour roughly as I descend down this hill. Oh, it's pretty good. Sometimes, you know, the easiest systems are the best systems, right? Nice. Wow, the Tiguan is really actually very impressive. I mean, there's a lot of people are big fans of this vehicle, and now I know why. It is really, really capable. Who knew? Something that looks this bland on the outside is so capable on the inside. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, also leave a message, post a comment, share this video with your friends. We make them for you, and we need viewers and subscribers. We'll see you next time.